Wait, don't go anywhere. If you're looking to skip through this video, then I made it a lot easier for you to do that. So don't just go skipping on your own. Look down in the description. I gave you a table of contents of every component of the engine. So hang on, check that out. Hey, we're wrapping it up with part 4. If you want to see the other parts of this video, you can look down in the description below or go to my channel page and check out that playlist. Let's get dirty. There you go. Hey look, Torx bolts. Alright, you got a T40. Okay, goes right in there. Nice deep well bolts, so you shouldn't be too worried about stripping them out. Alright, this is your timing chain tensioner. This is coming out because the timing chain is attached to the crankshaft. The crankshaft's coming out, so there you go. See? Look at that. See right here, that's where the chain has rubbed against it over the years. It doesn't seem to be too bad based on my minimal knowledge of how this works. It appears that there is some kind of geometry in the casting where you can wedge some type of object, like a screwdriver, to assist you in this venture. Hey, it worked! If I'm being honest, I had no idea if it would. Alright, you have a very hefty washer, and you've got a bolt. Fine thread, very cool. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a 19. 19 fits on there very well. I'm sure there's a standard equivalent, but I'm not about to look for it at this time. Sorry. Alright, and again, I'm at a position where I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. To the book! Do you ever watch a video and be like, man, this guy is an absolute disaster? Okay, so, sorry. These two sprockets come off as an assembly. So this, look at it, it just slides. That kind of caught me by surprise, but it just slides, and so does this. Whee! But the disaster part comes in where the whole frickin' camshaft wants to come off with it. And although that's part of what I'm doing, I wasn't really prepared to take that out quite yet. I don't know how to realign it, you know? How does one know? Well, actually, I know how one knows. All right, follow me here. This sprocket has a key, and you can't see it. It's on the bottom, down here. There's a key. So this only goes on the crankshaft one way. This, not coming off the camshaft, it only goes on the camshaft one way because it's not coming off. And honestly, that could be an advantage. Okay, there's a dot on here, there's a dot up here. If those are lined up, everything's lined up and you're good to go. Lined up, by that I mean straight across from each other. The dot on my little sprocket up here is not an indent like it is on this larger sprocket. You can't really see that. Hold on, I'll move you. See that? A little dot? There isn't really one of those on here, but I see a very faint circle. That looks like it's been scribed in and it's in here. You're not going to be able to see from this distance, but there's a circle there. But we're going to take this off and we're just going to pull all of it. All of it. Fortunately, I didn't put this on very tight. Fun fact, when I installed my new engine, I needed my original bolt. So this one, I pulled out of a junkyard. So if someone's in a junkyard tries to pull one of these engines, they're missing this. So that's fun. Okay, let's just do it. It goes without saying, these components probably not something you want to like break, so be careful. And you gotta keep the sprockets as an assembly. So that's going to be fun to do. There you go. As I run it into everything. Woo! So this is camshaft. If you didn't already know, this controls the little rockers on top of your engine, and it tells them when to open valves and whatnot. You can see I have some really weird wear on here, especially in these regions. I'm gonna do a little bit of research on the interwebs, and I'll post on here what the heck is going on. This, I'm sorry I don't have the distributor attached, but this attaches to your distributor, and it tells it when to fire the spark plugs. So you've got that to look forward to as well. Pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna put this down, it's heavy. All right, time for a very fun, heavy part. One of the most entertaining parts of the engine to watch because it moves the pistons and the pistons make the vroom. So here we go. Should just come straight up. Oh man, look at that. We've had enough footage of this rotating, so I'm not gonna show you every inch of it, but it's heavy. It's a crankshaft. We did it. Well, that was neat. You've got an engine block. Now, that is very dry and coated in carbon. That's quite fun. All right, I'm gonna bring back my push rod for this next part. So this is the valve lifter, and I'll show you in just a moment where it's located, but this surface here is what rides on that camshaft. And just reading through the manual, things to look for are wear on this surface, if it's like concave or has scratches or something like that. And then over here, this is the push rod seat. You can kind of see, it's about the same shape as this. So the push rod, he sits in here and it moves up and down. You will also notice that the push rod is completely hollow. You can see by the hole in the end and in the other end. Push rod's completely hollow, and this is hollow in the bottom here. Now if we rotate, there is a hole right here that appears to connect, okay? And so what I believe that is, and we're going to verify in a minute here by investigation, is that this is what allows oil to travel and lubricate this system. And it's going to move oil from the bottom end to the top end of the engine, which is pretty sweet and pretty critical. Alrighty, so you can see here, lifter, 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 lifter. 2 per cylinder because we only have 2 valves per cylinder on this engine. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit closer into all this nonsense. So let's see if we can get it. Ooh, you can kind of see it. See, there's a hole in there. There is a hole. Yeah, all right. I believe that is to allow the oil to travel around. Lifters all seem to actually be in pretty good shape. Really no scratches or issues. The reflections making it hard to see, but honestly, they look great. So yeah. Aha, the plot thickens. Now, if you know about lifters, you're probably laughing at me right now, but if you don't, I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am, because this is my first time tearing apart one of these. So, hold on. I did some disassembly without you. This is what we saw before. That pushrod seat, and then I took it out. Okay, there was a retaining clip here. I recommend pliers, not a screwdriver, because the retaining clip flew across the garage and my next 30 minutes are going to be looking for that. Yeah, so retaining clip in the top here. Seat was inside. Pulled it out. All right, it just kind of fell out. And then underneath it is this guy. Look how cool that is. It's got 4 holes in it. I'm assuming it allows oil to pass through and then go through this hole. Now you're probably wondering how the heck it gets through. You can kind of see there's a bit of a lip to it. Come on, focus. Yeah, and so just a tiny place for that oil to pass through. It's very interesting. Okay. Then in here, excellent. Oh yeah, you can see we got some kind of geometry in there, which is pretty cool. And then you probably can't see it unless I'm really careful. Oh, there's a hole. There's a hole. I remember there's a hole on here, but they don't line up. So it appears that that is a sleeve that's probably, wow, probably pressed in, and it's got a lip to it, and then there's oil can pass all the way around it, is what I'm guessing, and then comes through that hole, which fills this chamber. Chamber gets full, pushes oil through this, which then is transferred to this, which comes out that end, and ta-da. I could be totally wrong, but man, this is cool. And that's my best guess, based upon intuition. Yeah, there's a lifter torn down as far as I can get it. Hey you guys, I'm going to jump in real quick here. Please ignore the messy and different looking garage behind me. That's a pending future announcement. Anyway, so upon tearing apart this lifter, I had more questions than answers, and that's not cool if I'm presenting information to you. So what I did is I went online, I started doing some research, and I found a real gem of a video. This is a video that was produced in in the 1950s and has been since found and then uploaded onto YouTube. And there is a link in the description. I highly encourage you to check it out. They explain the difference between a older than 1950 spring-driven lifter versus the more modern hydraulic lifter that we found in this Jeep. And they explain what all of the holes are and the different ways that the oil is going to be passing through this to make it into a hydraulic lifter. Like I said, they're going to explain this so much better than I possibly could, so hit the link down below and watch their video. It is both wildly informational and mildly comical because of how they had to film it due to the time period it was filmed in. I hope you learned something really exciting and new, and let's get back to it. All right, now we're just going to investigate the cylinder walls, check out a couple other quick neat things, and then put it all back together. All right, start with cylinder one. Here we go, cylinder wall. Ooh, okay. See a little bit of scratching up at the top. That is from me sanding that carbon off and not being very careful. But you can see no huge gouges or scoring. And you can see where I rotated that piston a couple times. That's cool. Got a little bit of discoloration in some of the edges. Yeah, like that. But otherwise, fairly clean. Cylinder 2. Stick the phone in there. Cylinder 2, same basic story. Rotate around this way. Really, nothing's jumping out at me as bad, which is kind of interesting. Now, let's see if you can see it. There, look at that, you can see it. A lot of these still have the hone marks, which is awesome. But it's overall, you can see some hone marks again, but it's overall really smooth. That streak that may have been from like my finger or something. And again on this side, discoloration, kind of a few areas. And the last cylinder, cylinder 4. Oh, rotate around. See the hone marks again. So yeah, overall, engine's in good shape, I think. I don't know, man. All right, one last thing to look at. You can see right in here, check that out. That is where your coolant goes, if you're not familiar with the engine. If you are, again, you're looking at me like I'm crazy. But so coolant is going to be flowing around these cylinders. So you've actually got channels in here that your coolant runs through, and that's going to be pulling heat away from the cylinders so they don't overheat. And then all of that is going to come out the front of the engine. You can see here, isn't that sweet? Look at how cool that is. Oh, you can see a little freeze plug in there. But yeah, you can see all the cylinders all the way around. Very exciting. But that is how the engine keeps itself cool, is it runs coolant along the walls of the cylinders to keep them from overheating. Which is super sweet. If they overheat, stuff will seize. Seizing is bad. And here. And we're going to pretend that you're the camshaft. Whee! And you can see all the little lifters and everything down in there. There's a really cool view of the engine. All right guys, that is it. That's the whole 2.5 liter 4-cylinder Jeep engine torn down, as far as I'm gonna tear it down anyway. Yeah, okay, and so if you would like to see the engine be put back together, you could just play the video in reverse. Or you could watch it build itself. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in for part 4 and the final part of this long engine teardown video. I hope you had as much fun as I did. If you like this video, tell me so by hitting the like button, commenting below. Go ahead and subscribe. There's a lot more like this coming your way. Hit the bell if you want to be notified. I recommend it. It's a good tool. And then, of course, if you want to watch the other parts of this video, you can go ahead and do so in the description down below, or you can go to my channel page and you can find the playlist there. Thanks, guys. I'll see you on the trail.